It's time for bookkeeping, beer, and BS. Jason Hefner, who was at the Huge and is a regular watcher of the show, always asks like the freaking best questions. Dropped in Christmas lights in Florida. Can it work? I assume so, but I'll let you answer the Florida market question.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. I mean, that's a great market. Florida is a great market. Texas is a great market.
What makes it great? Just you got a bunch of pine trees that you can string some lights up and make it look really freaking cool, or what would you say makes it a great market?
Well, people don't. A lot of people don't know what this is. You probably don't know what a palm tree is. We have palm trees in certain areas.
Get the fuck out of here!
Yeah, so that
like
would
is
be
that? It sounds like a pine tree. So
no, it's a palm tree.
Okay.
Like your palm, your hand or your palm. So it's a palm.
That's a weird looking tree, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, well, no, this is your palm anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a great market.
I got it now.
Yeah, you got it. It's Dan. You see your palm every night. You know what I'm talking about.
I'm glad this show is not PG-13.
But it's a great market. There's just so many opportunities out in Florida. Depending on what area you're living in, you just drive around the areas. You see commercial properties that have lights up. People love Christmas, and COVID was, we were worried. We were worried last year because we're like, geez, is anybody going to want to decorate? But people needed something at the end of the year. They needed something to make them feel better. And we did great, on commercial installs. That's what we do in Southern California. But people wanted it. They wanted something to feel good about. I mean, after 2020, they just needed something to hold on to. And let's close out the year, on a good point. Christmas lights was kind of the savior for it. And it was crazy. I mean, we sold out of our lights, real quick. Products were, issues trying to find product for everybody and stuff like that. And it's even more amazing this year. If you're in this industry and you haven't bought your product yet, you better get on it real quick, because we've already sold out ourselves. And I've already talked to other vendors too. We've already sold out of a lot of product. Plus with the shipping.
I was gonna say, is it going to be really shitty this year trying to get your hands on lights just because of the way the world is?
Not necessarily because of what's going to be an issue is the containers, and that's what we're all dealing with, the container issue. Containers, when you used to bring in containers across, they used to be about $2,500 roughly, about for a 60 foot container. Now we're paying upwards of $20,000 for a container, because there's a shortage. There's a shortage on people at the ports in China. There's shortages across the board. So it's just crazy. And a lot of vendors are having to go back, if you didn't price it right for pre-season, a lot of vendors are having to go back and say, hey, sorry, Dan, I know we sold you that stuff for that price, but unfortunately it's going to be this price, type thing, trying to pass the buck. And I get it. I understand it. A lot of people are frustrated, installers. I've heard a lot of people call me like, oh, yeah. I'm just like, I get it. I know why they did it. We took a $20,000 bath, ourselves. We were fortunate enough to, not to have to go back to, too many customers. I think we went back to like one or two, just because the way we priced it initially. But we were fortunate enough not to have to go back and raise prices and jack it up on them. Yeah, I know I told you I was going to sell it to you for that much, but now it's this much. Yeah, that's the worst. That's like the worst thing you can ever have to do is go back to a customer and jack a price up after they've committed to something. So we were fortunate enough not have to do that to a bulk of our customers. And it's going to be interesting. We've sold out of a lot of products, and you can't even get anything else anymore. So my biggest thing that I see is, are you actually getting containers in? So I think these vendors are going to struggle getting containers in, because they just can't get them on the water. They're still sitting in ports of China, or they're just not on the boats yet.